The next morning I made sure Miss O'Leary had enough dog biscuits. I asked Beckendorf to keep an eye on her, which she didn't seem too happy about. Then I hiked over to Half-Blood Hill and met Annabeth and Argus on the road. Annabeth and I didn't talk much in the van. Argus never spoke, probably because he had eyes all over his body, including, so I heard, the tip of his tongue, and he didn't like to show that off. Annabeth looked queasy, as if she'd slept even worse than me. "Bad dreams?" I said at last. She shook her head. "An iris message from Riordan." "Riordan? Is something wrong with Nico?" "He left the ranch last night, heading back into the maze." "What? Didn't Riordan try and stop him?" "Nico woke up before he was gone, or they has tracked his scent as far as the cattle guard. Riordan said he's been hearing Nico talk to himself the last few nights. Only now he thinks Nico is talking with the ghost again, Minos." "He's in danger," I said. "No kiddin'. Minos is one of the judges of the dead. He's got a vicious streak a mile wide. I don't know what he wants with Nico, but—" "That's not what I meant," I said. "I had this dream last night. I told her about Luke, how he'd mentioned Quintus, and how his men had found a half-blood alone in the maze." Annabeth's jaw clenched. "This is very bad." "What do we do now?" She raised an eyebrow. "Well, it's a good thing you have a plan to guide us, huh?" It was Saturday and traffic was going heavy into the city. We arrived at my mom's apartment around noon. When she answered the door, she gave me a hug only a little less overwhelming than having a hellhound jump on you. "I told them you were all right," my mom said, but she sounded like the weight of the sky had just been lifted off her shoulders, and believe me, I know firsthand how that feels. She sat us down at the kitchen table and insisted on feeding us her special blue chocolate chip cookies, while we caught her up on our quest. As usual, I tried to water down the frightening parts, which is pretty much everything, and somehow that just made it sound more dangerous. When I got to the part about Graham and the stables, my mom pretended like she was going to strangle me. "I can't get him to clean his room, but he'll clean 100 tons of horse manure out of some monster stables?" Annabeth laughed. It was the first time I heard her laugh in a long time, so it was nice to hear. "So," my mom said when I was done with the story, "you wrecked Alcatraz Island, made Mount St. Helens explode, and displaced 500,000 people. But at least you're safe." That's my mom. She always looks on the bright side. "Yep," I agreed. "That pretty much covers it." "I wish Paul were here," she said, half to herself. "He wanted to talk to you." "Oh, right, the school." So much happened since I'd almost forgotten about the high school orientation at Goad. The fact that I'd left the band hall in flames and my mom's boyfriend had last seen me jumping through a window like a fugitive. "What did you tell him?" I asked. My mom shook her head. "What could I say? He knows something is different about you, Percy. He's a smart man. He believes you're not a bad person. He doesn't know what's going on, but the school is pressuring him. After all, he got you admitted there. He needs to convince them that the fire wasn't your fault. And since you ran away, that looks bad." Annabeth was studying me. She looked pretty sympathetic. I knew she'd been in similar situations. It's never easy for a half-blood in the mortal world. "I'll talk to him," I promised. "After we're done with the quest, I'll even tell him the truth if you want." My mom put her hand on my shoulder. "You would do that?" "Well, yeah, I think. I mean, he'll think we're crazy." "He already thinks that." "Well, then there's nothing to lose." "Thank you, Percy. I'll tell him you're home." She frowned. "Well, what happens now?" Annabeth broke her cookie in half. "Percy has a plan." Reluctantly, I told my mom. She nodded slowly. "Sounds dangerous, but it might work." "You have some of the same abilities, don't you?" I asked. "You can see through the mist?" My mom sighed. "Not as much now. When I was younger it was easier. But yes, I've always been able to see more than was good for me. It's one of the things that caught your father's attention when we first met. Just be careful. Promise me you'll be safe." "We'll try, Miss Jackson," Annabeth said. "Keeping your son safe is a big job, though." She folded her arms and glared out the kitchen window. I picked at my napkin and tried not to say anything. My mom frowned. "What's with the two of you? Have you been fighting?" Neither of us said anything. "I see," my mom said, and I wondered if she could see through more than just the mist. It sounded like she understood what was going on with Annabeth and me, but I sure the heck didn't. "Well, remember," she said, "Grover and Tyson are counting on you, too." "I know," Annabeth said, and I said at the same time, which embarrassed me even more. My mom smiled. "Percy, you better use the phone in the hall. Good luck." I was relieved to get out of the kitchen, even though I was nervous about what I was about to do. I went to the phone and placed the call. The number washed off my hand a long time ago, but that was okay. Without meaning to, I'd memorized it.